55%. Republican.
So I found this, and it says more U.S. farmers filed for bankruptcy in the first 3 months of 2025 than in all of 2024. The 259 filings marked the highest yearly total since 2021. This can't be true, is it? Unfortunately it is, because this comes from a farming website where it says farm bankruptcies this year already exceed 2024 levels. More farms nationwide filed for bankruptcy in the first 3 months of the year this year than across the entirety of 2024. 259 filings in the first 3 months. And the article cites the person who is talking and a research study from Arkansas, and it is devastating. But I think there was somewhere, did I hear about this, that was going to possibly happen with Donald Trump back in office? Maybe that was us who were talking about it, because there was warnings of this, that bankruptcies for farmers and farms going out of business would hit an all-time high because of Donald Trump, his tariffs, and the way he does things. At what point are the megas going to admit Donald Trump is doing more harm than good? You couple this with just destroying food from the USAID for people who need it instead of giving it out. He's not on a very good roll right now. Well, I would say he's not on a good roll ever, but that's me. What do you guys think? Do you think that this is good? What do you think the MAGAs are going to say about this? Are they going to say anything about this? Comment, like, share, tell everybody. Spread this word. What we need is to talk about these things that are happening and how they are hurting U.S.-born citizens, and continue to put this shine, that light, right on Donald Trump.
Well, it's just the idea of, okay, you're charging 25% for X product. We're going to charge 25% for X product.
Not a good plan. Terrible plan. You want to know why? Because every time we increase tariffs in other countries, they just increase them on us. A good example of this would be the tariffs that Donald Trump put on China under his administration in 18 or 19. China just increased tariffs back on us in a reciprocal fashion, and then our soybean exports, our agricultural exports, went to shit, and American farmers went bankrupt. Retaliatory tariffs never work to get other countries to reduce their tariffs on us, and that's just
they gave billions. They gave billions in subsidies to American farmers.
Yeah, because Donald Trump had put shit on the wall by bankrupting them, so then he had to pass the farm bill to bail them out, which, you know, good for him. But I just wish he didn't create the issue in the first place.
Well, it's just the idea of, okay, you're charging 25%.
And really what we're seeing is a real surge in Chapter 12 filings, across the nation. So far this year at the end of quarter one, we're looking at 259 filings. That's already outpacing 2024's numbers. And this is not just a national trend. You know, in Arkansas, we're already about outpacing what we did in the entire year last year. We have 15 Chapter 12 filings this year, and we had 16 total last year. So it looks like we're just going to be on the pace to beat that or be even worse.
That is incredible. You see these kind of numbers right now, the effect that has on the health of the ag economy in the U.S. Maybe speak to that a little bit and the ripple effect this has.
Absolutely. So, the ripple effect is a lot of, farms have to close up shop, and the question becomes, where does the land go? Does it get rented out by other farmers looking to expand? Do investment firms purchase it? And those are a lot of those questions and kind of unknowns that when you're going into this. So when you're looking at it, farms have really just been trying to wade the storm, and for the last few years of low commodity prices, high input cost. And what we're seeing now is, I think, some folks just saying, we can't do that anymore in terms of holding on, and they can market as much as they can, but those prices never get to the points of even break even, let alone profitability.
55%. That's the rate that American farmers have been declaring bankruptcy over and above last year. 55% more bankruptcies of American farmers. And it's the conditions, the economic conditions that are contributing to it. A lack of a workforce, a lack of labor, tariffs, the whole nine yards. Everything this administration has done is contributing to these people losing everything. They're losing the farm, right? So why is this important? Why should you care? Well, what happens when a family declares bankruptcy is that their property is sold in a sheriff's auction to satisfy creditors. So they lose their property. It's fire sailed. And, if they've got a $1 million loan on the 1,000 acres they got, and they get $500,000 for the property, well, they're on the hook for another $500,000. We're talking about generations that have farmed land, that have been farmers their entire lives, losing everything because they can't sell a product overseas. Most of our corn and grain is sold to other countries, and the tariffs are making it more expensive than other options. So they can't sell what they've farmed for decades or centuries. So what's the end run here? Why is this happening? Well, my speculation is that there's large, massive farming operations out there, very large corporations that have hundreds of thousands, if not millions of acres. For example, the King Ranch. And 25 years ago, they had 1 million acres and several 100,000 head of cattle. And they're looking to expand. So how do you expand cheaply? Well, what you do is you get somebody to pass legislation that's going to make family farms file bankruptcy. And then instead of giving them fair market value for it, you can just buy the land in foreclosure. So, out of bankruptcy. So that's the end run here. That's what all these policies are doing, is simply gutting family farmers to allow corporations to get farmland cheaply. It's a shame. It's sad. It's shameful. But that's what this administration is going for. Line the pockets of the big corporations, the big farmers, and shaft us.
Across America, family farmers are going under at alarming rates. Skyrocketing costs, broken trade promises, tariffs, climate shocks, and shrinking subsidies are pushing thousands into bankruptcy and silence. In this video, we looked at the heartbreaking footage and interviews of farmers walking away from generations of work. These aren't just farms, they are legacies being lost. How did they get here? And why is no one in Washington listening? Behind every closed barn door is a family in crisis and a system that failed them. Farmers feed this country, yet they're the first to be left behind. If you think this story deserves to be seen, hit that like button and share this video with someone who cares. And don't forget to subscribe for more real stories from real Americans. Let's raise our voices before the fields go silent. Just a quick note, full credit goes to the original creators of these videos. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.